All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to tackle one of the most fundamental concepts in all of JavaScript, something you are absolutely guaranteed to see in technical interviews. We are talking about callback functions.
So think about it like this, right? You pop a cake in the oven, you set the timer, and then you walk away. You don't just stand there staring at the oven, right? That would be a huge waste of time. You go do other stuff. And only when that timer dings do you go back and take the cake out. That ding is your signal. It's your cue to perform the next action. And that, in a nutshell, is the core idea of a callback.
And believe me, interviewers absolutely love asking this question. Why? Because it's a super efficient way for them to see if you really get how JavaScript works under the hood, especially when it comes to handling tasks that don't happen instantly.
Okay, so let's break this all down. We're going to cover exactly what a callback is, why they are so incredibly important, and of course, how you can start using them in your own code.
So what's the official definition? It's actually pretty simple. A callback is just a function that you pass into another function as an argument. The whole point is that it doesn't run right away. The function that receives it gets to decide when to execute it, or you could say, when to call it back.
And this right here, this is the real reason they exist. The why. You see, JavaScript in the browser is single-threaded, which is a fancy way of saying it can only do one thing at a time. So if you ask it to do something slow, like, say, fetch data from a server, your entire web page would just freeze if it had to wait. Callbacks are the classic solution to this problem. It's our way of telling our code, hey, go start this time-consuming task. Don't wait for it, but when you're finally done, go ahead and run this function for me. It keeps everything moving.
Okay, theory is one thing, but seeing it in action is where it really clicks. So let's look at a simple code example to make this crystal clear.
All right, first up, we've got a function called greet. You can see it takes two arguments, a name and something we're calling callback. Inside, it does two things. First, it logs hello with the name, and then, right after, it calls or invokes that callback function. Pretty straightforward so far.
Now here's our second function, a really simple one, named sayBye. All it does is print goodbye to the console. This is the function we're going to pass in as our callback.
And this is where it all comes together. We call our greet function. For the name argument, we pass in the string Faizan, and for the callback argument, we pass in sayBye. Now notice something really important here. We're passing the name sayBye without any parentheses. We are not running the function here. We're passing the function itself, like a variable, as a value. The greet function then takes that value and runs it inside its own code block. So the output you'd see is hello Faizan, immediately followed by goodbye.
Okay, so now that we've seen the code, let's circle all the way back to that interview room. Why does an interviewer care so much about this simple pattern?
Because when you can explain callbacks clearly, you're doing more than just defining a piece of syntax. You're proving that you understand a much bigger, much more important concept, asynchronous programming. You're showing them you get that some tasks take time, and that you know how to write code that can handle those delays gracefully without bringing the whole application to a grinding halt. That is a fundamental skill for any JavaScript developer.
And there you have it. That's the lowdown on callback functions. If this explainer helped things click for you, do me a huge favor and smash that like button. And hey, while callbacks are awesome, if you start nesting too many of them, you can end up in a messy situation that developers jokingly call callback hell. If you want to see how JavaScript evolved to solve that problem with even cooler tools like promises and async await, let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.